Just because Autobot Ratchet chooses to avoid fighting doesn't mean he's never learned how. His intimate knowledge of anatomy allows him to strike with surgical precision. Making a fight against him is a very powerful losing proposition. What is up, everybody? This is Kyle from the TF Review, here with a video review of Transformers Prime Deluxe Class Autobot Ratchet. And as we can see, Autobot Ratchet is in his ambulance mode. He looks very, very nice. He got some orange detail with some silver paint apps right in front, but overall this vehicle mode is not really all that detailed. In terms of paint apps, it really is lacking, including Ratchet's signature little heartbeat logo that goes right there, which is really unfortunate that it's not there. Luckily, the robot mode does make up for the lack of paint apps, but the sculpt itself is in fact very nice and does really represent the character well, and it does roll quite nicely. Now, Ratchet does come with two weapons, these dual sword blades, which you can peg right here at the top of him if you'd like, but that does look slightly stupid. You can also peg them in the front, but due to the rubberiness of the handles, it is kind of a tight fit, so it is hard to do. But after a while, you'll eventually get something that looks similar to that, and it's kind of like how Wheeljack's sword's kind of attached to the front of him. Similar, but not the same. Now, you can store these on the bottom. In fact, you can see there's a peg right there and right there. What you can do is you can just take the swords and peg them in like so, and then do the same thing to this sword. And then his swords are now stored underneath. I should probably hold them upright. And it does work. It does add a little bit of kibble to the bottom, which it doesn't really have to. But it still rolls quite successfully. And overall, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Let's take a good look at the transformation and robot mode. Now, to transform Ratchet, what you need to do is you need to sort of unlodge his arms. So, to unlodge his arms, what we want to do is we want to just fold these two pieces down. And then now we got to pull the wheel. And this is sort of my horrible way of doing it, but it works. The whole arm will just basically unlodge itself. Again, do this side, you take the wheel, and again, the whole arm will eventually unlodge itself. Like so. Oh yeah, also you want to get rid of these swords. Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of almost halfway there, as you can see. To transform his arms, it's fairly simple. All you need to do is just fold this whole side panel up, and then you got to flip his hand out first. Again, just fold it up, and it does just snap all together. And that's pretty much it. I mean, again, do the same to the other side. Flip his hand out, fold his arm up, and that is it. We have his arms. Now, for his head, you want to take what used to be the backside of his alt mode, and you just want to fold it back, and his head automatically pops up so violently. It's really quite epic. And that is his upper body transformation. For his lower body, what we need to do is we need to fold his feet out just to get them kind of out of the way. And then what we want to do is we want to split his legs. And then now we can fold these pieces outwards. And then we need to split his feet. Again, split his feet. And we're almost there. Then you want to take this whole front panel, and then it just folds down, pretty much. As you can see, that is the leg transformation. Again, his side panel it's a little bit bizarre. But it doesn't look too bad once you finally completed it. Again, do the same to this side. Just make sure everything is nice and loose. And then this front piece should just slide forward like so. Sorry, it's getting a little dark. And then you can go ahead and peg this bottom piece in right there. And then do the same on this side. It just pegs in. And now it's sturdy. And there you have Ratchet's transformation. It's done. So, here we have Ratchet in his robot mode, and as we can see, his robot mode really did turn out quite nice. Obviously, this is where all the paint app budget went, because 90% of what you see here, you cannot see in his alt mode, including his head, his chest, the sides of his legs right there. It doesn't look like it was limited to just a few colors. It's got the gray, the silver, the white, the orange, the turquoise, the super bright silver. There's pretty much no back kibble. It looks very, very accurate to the show model, except for his leg pieces right there, which do have a little bit of kibble, but it's not too bad. Now you can take his swords and you can place them in his hands with no problems whatsoever. And then you can make him sort of into a pseudo ninja chop, whatever, Ratchet. He can, start making, sushi. Nawa, evac sushi. So yeah, you can do that, and then this is pretty much all you really can do. There is no spot for storing these weapons and the pegs that you were able to store them in alt mode. They're now right there, which are pretty much inaccessible now due to the transformation, which is unfortunate. So he's got to hold them, otherwise you're gonna lose him. Like me, I'll lose him eventually. And yeah, let's take a look at articulation. Now for articulation, Ratchet has a lot. His head can move left and right, but it can't really go forward and back. But you can turn him into a turtle. His arms move in and out, rotate 360 degrees, upper bicep swivel, nice bend at the elbow, goes all the way up, so there's no lack right there. His hands move forward and back due to the transformation. So a lot of nice arm articulation. His legs are in ball joints. Knees bend, but really, not very much. And then there is just a little bit of feet articulation. You can see they move forward and back, and that's pretty much it. But you are able to get a lot of really fantastic poses out of Ratchet. Fighting poses, which is funny because Ratchet's not much of a fighter, but he does some of the best fighting poses of probably any of the Transformers Prime figures. And now, let's take a look at a size comparison. Now, for a size comparison, I'm going to stay relevant and include Transformers The Ride evac right there. And also, here he is next to Voyager class Bulkhead. So you can see he's a little bit shorter than evac, and obviously not in scale with the Voyager Bulkhead. Ratchet would have to be slightly bigger in order to be in scale with him. But it is still a really nice figure. So, my final thoughts on Ratchet. Ratchet is a very nice figure with a lot of great paint apps in his robot mode. Unfortunately, he does lack quite a bit of detail in his vehicle mode. But overall, the amount of posability, the great detail, and just the pure likeness put into the robot mode itself does make up for sort of a lackluster vehicle mode. Overall, I think it's a great interpretation of the character, but if you want to stay in scale with the Transformers Prime line, I would hold off for Voyager figure, because he is of course a deluxe, so he's a little bit shorter than he should be. That's it for this review of Transformers Prime Ratchet. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at the TF Review. And thanks, guys.